Good evening once again and a very warm welcome to Rwanda Television News. My name is Gloria Mutesi. With just a few hours to go before Rwanda celebrates Heroes Day, the Chancellery for Heroes, National Orders and Decorations of Honor, Channel has announced that some of its research could identify another group of people who will be included in various categories of Rwandan heroes or could receive rings of appreciation. Martina Abera starts us off tonight with this story.
The fact that Heroes Day is celebrated on 1st of February, you may be wondering why it was chosen to be on that date. It is a date chosen based on the well-being of Rwandans and the economies of their achievements because it was previously celebrated on the 1st of October. It simply came to our notice that that's when Rwandans are doing well, both economically and socially. If they are breeders, the cows will be in good condition and the standard of living for Rwandans is good. They are able to meet and socialize and talk about their heroes. However, fellowship and celebration of Heroes Day this time will be done in a special way with the help of technology, media platforms and social media in order to curb down the spread of COVID-19. There are some youth who appreciate the bravery of Rwandans and its heroes and encourage their peers to continue to cultivate this culture of courage. We know first and foremost that the youth took the lead in liberating this country, but today there is no more courage in the way of war, but courage in the way of development. That is why we will appreciate them this year as well, despite the year's occurrences, because fortunately we are still with them. For us as young people, it is a very important thing that we value. Many girls like to act like foreigners in our country. If you are not a patriotic girl, you would not support the heroes who brought us to where we are now, or even put yourself in their shoes. The first thing I would advise is to love your country, integration and hard work. Today's heroes in Rwanda were approved in 2000, but the study began in 1995. Mr. Nicholas confirms that the same has been done today in various phases, but that if it's not confirmed by the national authorities, it is not public knowledge. There are a lot of people who have done research that can go in the heroic category of Imanzi, Imena or Ingenzi. But to do this at our level of CHENO, once we have done a convincing study at our level, it is being taken to higher authorities. These are the top government authorities, who also review it to confirm it, because His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Rwanda, is the one who certifies the national heroes and also gives the rings of appreciation. So when it is not confirmed, we often tell people it is not public knowledge because it is not confirmed. Before we only had 2 rings, but now we have 7. So the people we are researching can be given those rings or even classified as heroes. Mr. Nicholas urges Rwandans, especially the youth, to be courageous and extraordinary. Secondly, they will try their best to set a good example from these heroes, but they will also do more than what these heroes did to continue to preserve our Rwandan heritage, a hero that will never be lost. National Heroes Day began to be celebrated after 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. It is the 27th anniversary of the genocide against the Tutsi. It is an event that has shown the fruits of Rwandans' love and support for their heroes, the recognition that a country is built and will continue to be built with courage at all times, and that Rwandans have come to realize the value of courage. There is also a tribute to those who have done outstanding deeds, including the award of a ring of Uruti for the liberation of the country, a ring of stopping the genocide, Guardian, a ring of vows, of friendship, and more. Martina Abera, RTV News.
The Minister of Local Government, Professor Shaka Anastase, has urged local communities to ignore anyone who may try to tell them lies about the food supplies given to families affected by the measures put in place to fight the spread of the COVID-19 pandemic, and called on those in charge of distributing the supplies to do it, and proudly and well. Saishnore has the details.
More than 72,000 people in Kigali city, now under total lockdown, survived on daily wages they earned while working and are now unable to make a living. To sustain them until the lockdown is lifted, food storage facilities have been set up at different locations in all of the city's 3 districts, with organized distributions taking place. Because all families are to remain in their homes, youth volunteers are working with local leaders to deliver the food supplies to every house personally. with homes that include toddlers under the age of 5 and expectant mothers getting milk as well to fight malnutrition. They gave us beans and maize flour, and now they have brought us milk for the children, which we are grateful for. They gave us food, and now they have added milk to help improve our nutrition, and this will obviously help my child. We will not go hungry because our leaders are caring for us. This is helping me because I live here with my 6 children, a family of 7. I am 100% grateful for this. Those responsible for neighborhoods, settlement leaders, and community health workers are saying that they are doing everything in their power to ensure that the supplies reach all who need them. We are focusing our efforts on expectant mothers and toddlers who are at most risk of malnutrition, and we have started giving them milk for kids under the age of 5. Every cell we visit, we make sure the supplies actually reach the local residents. Top officials in the Ministry of Local Government have stressed that with sufficient food supplies, local leaders must ensure that people get them. We want all local leaders to be on par, especially during these difficult times. No local leader should be sleeping soundly when their neighborhood is suffering. They have toll-free lines they can use to reach the concerned authorities if things are not going well, and should put pressure on them to deliver what is required, moving up the chain of command if they feel they have to, all the way to the district level if that is what it takes. All we want is for the people's issues to be addressed. That is why we wanted Kigali City and its districts to have its own supply stocks at the local level, not just those in the country's warehouses, so that needs can be met immediately. That is being done, and on Thursday we found an extra 60,000 people who needed to be included on the lists of those already receiving help. Today we reached some of them, and tomorrow we expect to have reached the rest with supplies to help them. City authorities have reiterated that community leaders must not wait for people to start calling them or leaving their homes in search of something to eat. Some families fell sick and are being assisted at home as a way of containing the virus, and those in need of fresh food supplies are getting them thanks to sector authorities. There is also the issue of families with little kids, toddlers under the age of 5, who are getting milk to ensure that they stay healthy. There is also the matter of those who may seek to spread baseless rumors that scare people. We are also asking people not to exaggerate things, spreading false rumors that scare people, because such incidents have also been identified. Spreading such rumors only makes things worse, and if there is really a problem, then yes, we want the facts so that we can deal with it. The media should help spread factual information to aid in such efforts. The first time Kigali City went into total lockdown, 72,000 people were tallied as in need of requiring assistance, and now an extra 60,000 have requested help after their savings ran out.
Those in the medical field closely monitoring the global COVID-19 pandemic have noted that Rwanda is among the best performing countries anywhere when it comes to fighting the spread of the virus, which is why they cannot understand how the UK could have decided to place a travel ban on people who have been in the country.
The UK announced the travel ban on the 28th of this month of January, taking effect the following day on the 29th, announced via Twitter through the country's Secretary of State for Transport. The ban excludes British, Irish and third country nationals with residence rights who must self-isolate for 10 days at home upon arrival. Naturally, the decision has sparked controversy. It is clear that Rwanda is implementing measures that were agreed upon globally. For a person to be allowed into the country, they must first take those tests generally referred to as PCL, and I believe here too they are conducted. Such measures are helping to save lives. The UK, on the other hand, is among countries that have not been found to be strictly sticking to the measures to fight the spread of the pandemic. I therefore believe they are not revealing all the reasons they have decided to impose this ban. Why are they not recognizing the measures being implemented here that the entire world has agreed to be effective? Indeed, the UK has among the highest COVID-19 infection figures at around 4 million and more than 100,000 fatalities with more than 2 million active cases. On the other hand, Rwanda has actually been praised for measures taken to contain the pandemic, with slightly more than 15,000 infections after more than 10 months since the first case was identified in the country, and 193 fatalities as of Saturday, as well as 5,121 active cases. The Lowy Institute in Australia has ranked the country 6th globally when it comes to fighting the spread of the virus, and international organizations operating within its borders have openly praised the measures.
The government has taken some action. Rwanda is commended as being a very good example globally in fighting this pandemic, and kudos to health workers and all the actors in that field.
With such facts evident for all to see, Dr. Jean-Claude Byiringiro insists that the travel ban cannot be based on solid scientific evidence. When you look at the information available and where this new strain of the virus has popped up, the figures and so on, certainly the problem is in the UK far more than it is in Rwanda. And that makes you think. With a new strain in the UK and not Rwanda, and infection rates rocketing there way more than they are here, is the ban based on scientific fact or other reasons we do not know about? On Saturday, Rwanda's government released its own statement in response to the announcement from the UK's Secretary of State for Transport, asking for clarifications over the decision when you consider the country's standing when it comes to fighting the pandemic. The statement also pointed out that Rwanda did not hurry to ban UK travellers back in December when the COVID-19 variant first popped up in that country, despite many other nations doing just that.
Companies in Rwanda that use technology to help farmers supply their produce to markets have increased more than 6-fold since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic, jumping from 8 to 50. This has been very beneficial for the farmers. Jane Mutoni now reports.
Among the sites helping farmers to sell their goods online, including AfriFarmers, Food Bundles, and DMM Hehe, this form of business has helped in eliminating issues of both farmers and buyers being priced highly by middlemen. Buyers are able to directly collect their purchased items from the market. Farmers stay on their farms as we place orders of the quantity of goods that are needed on market, and then we send our cars to pick them up. Through our applications called AfriFarmers, customers are able to check their prices and delivery locations and then press his or her order depending on the items chosen. Some farmers have taken the extra mile of using internet to know the current pricings on market and to follow up with customers as they collect their purchased items from the market, hence avoiding losses from both sides as it has happened before. After harvesting a certain amount of tons, I'm then informed through my phone of the quantity needed in different locations. This helps me to know the current prices of goods on market and of my fellow farmers in order to help me to set a price as well. The Chief Executive Officer of the Rwanda ICT Chamber, Alex Ntare, says there is need for such companies to increase in order to facilitate more farmers.
Nationwide,
the numbers are still low. According to our survey, it's still below 50%, most especially among the youth practicing agro-processing. We are currently sensitizing the youth in order to increase those numbers. For example, AfriFarmers is currently working with over 700 farmers, yet we are targeting a higher number, which means if we expanded into many branches, we shall be able to work with over 100,000 farmers and more. As we know, farming is the dominant source of survival, which is why we are using the internet. Since COVID-19 virus was first confirmed in Rwanda, companies in charge of helping both farmers and buyers to purchase goods from the market through online transactions have increased from 8 to 50. The main goal this year is to increase those numbers to 1,500 with over 2,000 employees. Jane Mutoni reporting for RTV.
And in other news, the judicial sector says that although the COVID-19 pandemic has changed the face of the judiciary, with the help of technology, justice has continued to be provided the right way, although various challenges arose from time to time in different places. The basic rights of suspected offenders, such as access to food and medical treatment, are some of the priorities looked at according to the Rwanda Investigation Bureau. According to RIB, the use of technology in filing a complaint, providing legal assistance to inmates who need it, has not been affected by the ongoing lockdown in Kigali City. There is a standard way to file a complaint, where one can call 166 and file a complaint to be followed up. Also, one can use email and send their complaint with evidence and submit it. And one could also go to the RIB offices after seeking permission from police. And those who want lawyers are linked up while still enforcing COVID-19 prevention measures. The Rwanda Bar Association confirms that in the current context of lockdown, they've continued with their work of providing legal services to those that need them. We're currently doing our best to see that people get their trial dates, and for those that have been arrested by RIB, get lawyers. We work with the national police and provide names of those that are going to see clients so they can get clearance. In these times of the pandemic, especially during the lockdown, the focus is on criminal proceedings and regular hearings of detainees in various prisons. Judicial spokesperson Mutabazi Harrison says that technology has yielded significant results in such unusual circumstances, but cites that there have been some challenges as well. Sometimes the internet is slow, which slows down the number of cases being worked on because of poor connection. In addition, we've made it a point that lawyers work online without necessarily having to go to court. And we've found that some of these lawyers aren't able to use the internet, hence postponing some of the cases. We are working towards increasing efforts in using technology. In the intermediate court and primary courts in Kigali, 716 cases have been heard between January 14th to 27th, 2021. And those that are represented by lawyers from the Bar Association in the categories of children and the disadvantaged are 2,525.